The banquet hall glittered like the heart of a nebula. Polished crystal walls refracted the soft glow of starlight streaming through the palace's vast dome, scattering rainbows across the floor where noble aliens stood in regal clusters. Every creature here was taller, sleeker, and more graceful than I could ever be. And me. Just a human in a borrowed suit that didn't quite fit. The Galactic Concord had invited Earth to send an observer to the royal celebration of Valara, heiress to the throne of the Sarathian Empire. I'd been the unlucky, or maybe lucky, diplomatic attaché chosen. My orders were clear. Keep quiet, keep out of the way, and most importantly, do nothing to offend the Sarathians. The Sarathians weren't just another alien race. They ruled 4 star systems, their fleets unmatched, their culture revered across the galaxy. One wrong move here, one misstep, and humanity could be set back 100 years in galactic diplomacy. I kept repeating that to myself as I stood at the edge of the hall, nursing a glass of something bright blue and fizzing. No one spoke to me. Most didn't even look at me. To them, I was little more than a curiosity. A human, fragile, plain, short-lived. Then the herald's voice rang out, echoing through the chamber. Her high radiance, Princess Valara of Sarathia. The room shifted. Conversations stilled. Every head turned. And then she walked in. The princess was breathtaking. Not in the way of human beauty, but something grander, sharper. She stood nearly 7 feet tall, her silver hair flowing like liquid metal, her eyes twin orbs of luminous violet. Her gown shimmered like woven starlight, and her every movement carried a kind of predatory grace. I told myself not to stare. Failed. She moved through the crowd with practiced elegance, acknowledging bows and whispered greetings, her expression calm, poised, untouchable. The kind of person born knowing the galaxy itself bent toward them. Until her gaze fell on me. For a heartbeat, those violet eyes locked with mine. Froze. Surely she would look away, dismiss me as everyone else had. But she didn't. Instead, her lips curved into something that could only be described as amusement. And then she did something no one could have predicted. She raised her arm, extended a slender finger, and pointed. Me. The hall erupted in a ripple of gasps. Before her parents, the emperor and empress themselves, seated high on their crystal thrones, Valara spoke in a clear, commanding voice. "I want him." The words echoed, impossible to misunderstand. Every noble I turned to me. I nearly dropped my glass. The middle. The chamber fell silent, the kind of silence that smothered. I could hear my own pulse hammering in my ears. The emperor, towering and severe in golden regalia, tilted his head. His deep, resonant voice rolled across the hall. "Daughter, explain yourself." Valara's eyes never left mine. She stepped forward, her gown trailing light. "Of all assembled here, none interest me. None challenge me. None are different. Except him." She pointed again, more firmly this time. "I choose the human." I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. My throat had gone dry as a desert. One of the nobles, a tall figure with scaled skin, sneered. "High Radiance, surely you jest. That creature is fragile. Short-lived. An amusement at best." Valara's gaze snapped to him like a blade unsheathed. "Do you question my will?" The noble fell silent, paling beneath his scales. The empress leaned forward, studying me with eyes as sharp as a hawk's. "A human consort. You bring shame to the crown, Valara. Our traditions stagnate." Valara cut in, her voice rising. "Our people grow arrogant, complacent. I will not chain myself to another dull suitor of proper bloodlines." Her hand dropped, her chin lifted defiantly. I choose him. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to rewind time 5 minutes, before all of Sarathia's high court was staring at me like I was an insect that had crawled onto the royal table. But time doesn't rewind. The Emperor's eyes narrowed. Human. Step forward. My legs felt like stone. But I stepped because what else could I do? Refusing would be suicide, political and maybe literal. I walked across the shimmering floor, every step echoing too loud, until I stood before the thrones. State your name, the Emperor commanded. Ethan Cole, sir, I croaked, then quickly corrected. Your Majesty. The Empress's gaze was ice. Do you understand what the princess claims? Yes, ma'am. And do you accept? My brain screamed say no. My orders from Earth screamed stay invisible. But I could feel Velara's eyes burning into me, daring me. I swallowed. If it pleases her high radiance. I accept. Gasps swept the hall again. The Emperor's jaw clenched, but he did not strike me down. Instead he rose, his robes billowing like a storm. So be it. My daughter binds herself to a human. Let all bear witness. And just like that, my life was no longer mine. The days that followed were chaos. I was moved from the observer's quarters to lavish chambers within the palace itself. Servants bowed when I passed, though I could feel their disdain like a weight. Nobles whispered behind their jeweled fans. Some glared openly, as if I'd committed some crime by existing. And through it all Velara smiled. She visited often, sweeping into my chambers like a star come alive. Sometimes she asked questions about Earth, our art, our wars, our small fragile lives. Other times she simply stared at me with that same amused expression, as though she saw something in me no one else could. You confuse them, she told me one evening, reclining on a seat carved from crystal. They see only weakness in your form. But I see steel in your eyes. You're not afraid, Ethan Cole. Not truly. I laughed nervously. I'm terrified, actually. Her lips curved. Then you are better at hiding it than most of my kind. Still tension coiled tighter each day. Whispers of dissent spread. I overheard guards muttering about how unworthy I was, how dangerous it was to let a human so close to the royal bloodline. And then came the duel. One night, as I walked back from the palace gardens, a tall figure blocked my path. It was Lord Varick, the scaled noble who had sneered during the banquet. His eyes glowed with malice. You shame our empire, human, he hissed. But tonight I will correct that. Before I could answer, he drew a blade, long, curved, humming with energy. Froze. I had no weapon, no training beyond the basics. He lunged. And suddenly light exploded between us. Laura. She stood there, her own blade intercepting his, sparks flying. Her expression was pure fury. You dare, she spat. You dare raise a weapon against him in my halls? Varick gritted his teeth. He is unworthy of you. Unworthy or not, she snarled, forcing him back with a flurry of strikes. He is mine. The duel ended swiftly. Varick fell to the floor, defeated, his blade clattering away. Guards swarmed, dragging him off. And Velara turned to me, chest heaving, eyes blazing violet fire. You see now, she said. They will come for you. But I will not let them take you. For the first time I saw not just a princess playing at rebellion, but a woman standing against her entire empire for something, or someone she believed in. The ending. Word spread fast. The attempted duel ignited scandal. Some nobles demanded my removal. Others whispered that Velara's defiance proved her unfit to rule.